Nottingham Forest. Plenty in between as well, as Manchester United prepare for kick-off. They're in their red shirts and the white shorts and black socks from left to right in the opening 45 minutes as Manuel Ugarte prepares to kick things off. Referee tonight, Michael Salisbury, blows his whistle. Off we go. Leicester City, all in blue, are from right to left, attacking the Stretford end in the first half. It is sent long by Andre Onana. No Altay Bayindir tonight for Manchester United. Has previously started many of their cup games this season, but Onana's chosen on the bench. Hubert Grachik, the Pole, his first ever appearance on the Manchester United bench. But it's Onana, all in yellow, away to our left-hand side. That just rolls it low out towards this near side. Manchester United's right. They've worked it up towards the halfway line. Højlund tries to hold it up. Interception comes in, and Manchester United have a throw-in.
Yeah, interesting start. Quick tempo. Just look at Manchester United set-up. We all thought Dorgu was going to play in that left wing-back role, but it's actually Dallow's gone on that side and Dorgu on the right of that back five, which is very, very interesting. You know, he's crying out for a left footer. And now is it one of those where you can come inside onto your stronger foot? Dallow's used to being moved around, but he's United as it's just brought back. But yeah, set up Maguire. It's going to be at the centre of that defence, that three. And then what's he going to expect from Ahmed? He's going to get narrow with Bruno Fernandes supporting Højlund, but interesting start for Manchester United.
A free kick going to Leicester on the halfway line, with new boy Patrick Dorgu committing the foul on Samare. Manchester United were given a few seconds to venture forward. Referee decided in the end it was a foul. Could possibly have been for the pull on Luke Thomas as well, but free kick given in Leicester City's favour. Small pocket of fans tucked into the corner, down towards our right-hand side. Hermansen clears it long, the Leicester goalkeeper, all in green, out towards the far side touchline. It's headed back in field. And then a game ahead tennis, which Mazraoui actually lets go and leaves the ball to fall over the touchline on the far side. Midway inside Manchester United's own half, so they throw it back towards their own penalty area. Lenny Yoro now getting a good run of games for him. Dorgu, the deadline day signing from Lecce, gets a touch. Back to Harry Maguire inside the D it goes. He plays a low ball flat down the middle, short by 10 yards or so to Ugarte. And out towards the left-hand side, Manchester United trying to play the ball forward with purpose, but a challenge on the halfway line, and it falls back into Leicester City's favour.
Yeah, moving the ball around, playing little passages, but as we expected, they want to try and get in behind. Manchester United push, get some crosses in. But yeah, interesting start. It's been fast, the tempo's good, great little back heel there. I'm not sure it's needed, a little bit safer in possession we expected, but Leicester City look confident. We're going to move the ball, wait, be patient, try and draw Manchester United on.
3 minutes played 0-0. It was El Canouse with the back heel, the Belgian. Here he is now playing keepy-uppy with himself in the middle of the Leicester half. Gets it out towards the far side touchline. That is Leicester City's right to Wout Faes, who scored in round 3, one of the 6 goals that Leicester City scored as they beat QPR 6-2. Manchester United needed penalties to beat Arsenal. Long ball down the right-hand side. And Patson Daka's done well there. Just lays it back infield to Bobby Decordova-Reid. Stall of the cross from the far side. Only Jordan Ayew to aim for in the middle. Manchester United make the challenge. Leicester City win the throw on the far side.
Yeah, it's uncertain, isn't it? Just trying to find the feet, both sides. Just patience, circulating it. Just really getting a feel. When you set off in the game, you just want to make sure. A couple of touches. If you don't get the first one right, just get into a little angle, checking your shoulders. I feel goalkeeper very high.
And these two met in the FA Cup final of 1963. Manchester United beating Leicester 3-1 with a goal that day from the late great Dennis Law, who features on the back of the programme tonight. Now Ugarte's won the ball midway inside the Leicester City half, right-hand side, but his pass back evades Ahmad. But then Leicester City themselves can't keep control of it. Sloppy passing from both sides. Manchester United getting a little bit more assurance on the ball. And Fernandes flicking it out to the left-hand side. Mazraoui once more over to the touchline. And back to Mazraoui again. But what are we now? 4.5 minutes in, 0-0. Yet to get a real flow in this game. A little bit sloppy. There's another poor pass by Ahmad, and that's just allowed Boubacar Samare to come forward onto the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's then challenged, And Dorgu clears it down the touchline for a Leicester City throw. This is not smooth by any stretch.
No, it's not. You just look at the passes. Harry Maguire wants to play through. We talked about those wide players coming inside. Maguire plays it brilliantly into Ahmed, but his touch is not good and it's intercepted. It's not clean. I feel like Manchester United have got to make the pitch a little bit bigger when they're in possession.
Goalless with Leicester and Samare battling for the ball just outside the Manchester United penalty area. Fast in possession now inside Leicester's own half. They've worked it back in a safety first manner as Ruben Amorim takes a big swig of water, lays it down next to him in the technical area, then continues to pace that little box away from his dugout. Ruud van Nistelrooy pulls up the collar on his smart black overcoat, arms folded, patrolling his technical area. He's been in the home dugout twice this year as Manchester United beat Leicester in a matter of days in the Premier League and the League Cup. Leicester play the long ball forward. Patson Daka laid off for Ayew. Brilliant shot, saved by the goalkeeper and patted down by Onana. Edge of the D, Ayew hit it first time, looking for the top right-hand corner. But Onana saw it all the way 0-0.
Do you know what? It was the run, wasn't it, from a midfield area. Daka just gets him behind and then he's patient, he waits. Support comes Ayew. I'm thinking, is he going to hit this? Is it a little bit quick for him? Fizzes it right-footed, right in towards that top corner. Onana already across. He took it so comfortable for such power.
Over 6 years since Jordan Ayew's last FA Cup goal. Came in a round 3 match for Crystal Palace against Grimsby, January 2019. But it's the first big effort on target in this game. First major chance for either side. An Ayew shot from 20 yards out, curling towards the top of the right-hand side of the goal, but easy catch in the end for Onana, and it's 0-0. Farce again, Leicester centre-back, out to Caleb Okoli, starting tonight, the 23-year-old Italian summer signing from Atalanta. Long, tall figure next to Wout Farce, who's not shy of height himself, so plenty for Rasmus Højlund to think about tonight in the attacking sense of Manchester United. 0-0 the score, with Dorgu back to Yoro and Harry Maguire in the heart of the Manchester United defence. Yeah,
Leicester City has really been comfortable in possession. They know full well that they can work. Manchester United again just losing the ball. It's been really scrappy from both sides, no real quality. Another free kick, maybe the conditions, a little bit windy, etc., and really contributing towards it. But you look straight away, the build-up's good. Leicester move it back, circulate, wait, try and just bring Manchester United out. I think just keep the ball, work it, just wait for the gaps, be patient there. Lovely pass again, and that one, this is the story of the match so far. Silly balls given away.
Boubakary Soumaré in the centre circle, just cheaply left-footed, hit it first time, lost possession. Now Dorgu trying to venture down the right, unsuccessfully so, and it's Okoli with the pick-off. Now Ayew right in front of his manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, had a look towards the linesman, appeals for a Leicester throw-in for his team. The linesman on this near side having none of it, and back it goes into Manchester United's half. So 0-0, 8 minutes played, and Kobbie Mainoo, who tonight perhaps fills a more familiar role in central midfield, plays it back to his goalkeeper Andre Onana away to our left-hand side. Yoro chips it forward, a lot of height on the ball, very little direction, and it's easily controlled and brought down by James Justin, the right back of Leicester. Okoli, Thomas, back to Okoli again. The pressure will come from Ahmad, and Okoli just rolls it onto the edge of his own 6-yard box for Hermansen. Out to Justin, and Justin right-footed long over the halfway line, looping into the jet black skies of Manchester this evening. Clear conditions, a little bit chilly, windy, certainly outside the stadium, but feels a lot milder when you're all packed in. And very few spare seats inside the Old Trafford House this evening. 0-0, BBC Radio 5 Live, FA Cup 4th round action. Long ball played out towards the right-hand side, which Dorgu brings down well with his left boot. Feeds it on the inside channel to Ahmad. Ahmad then back heels it to Dorgu. Dorgu's challenged by Okoli, but it allows Ugarte to drift it in. Header sends the ball up in the air, and goalkeeper Hermansen catches the ball. Yeah, a little bit better from Manchester United. That little back heel from Ahmed. Dorgu going forward, and then that sort of Ugarte pass and sort of flicks away. Goalkeeper good collect, but just watching Manchester United in set-up, they're looking wherever possible to get that switch on, but when those two wide players are narrow,
and then the wing-back areas are not high enough. It's going to be hard to do that if they continue. That one was a good one into Dorgu, but you feel like they've got to get more control, or they've got to be higher, or the wide players a little bit further on, pushing Leicester back to create that space.
And they've got to get hold of the ball first, and Leicester City comfortable with it, left-hand side, the near with Thomas into the centre circle, uses Samare back to Okoli and back to Mads Hermansson, the Dane. Once again, 17 Premier League games this season for the goalkeeper, but only one clean sheet. That has been Leicester's problem. It's why they sit below the dotted line in the Premier League. 10 minutes played here, 0-0. Manchester United, though, not yet testing, really, Mads Hermansson at all. Yoro just strides forward with the ball, gets to the halfway line, uses Dorgu. He's got Thomas all over the back of him. Ayew comes to join him for support. Dorgu comfortable enough. Uses Lenny Yoro. And now Harry Maguire with his bright orange boots. Ruben Amorim's down on his haunches on the edge of his technical area. I never think pitch side you get the best view anyway. Why you'd want to make that view any lower, I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, Amorim feels that's the best view he can get right now.
I'm used to that sort of view, to be honest. not the tallest, so I get to see it in a different way. But just watching now the setup, Bruno Fernandes dropping down, and it's actually Kobe Mainoo who's gone a little bit higher. Ahmed at times going narrow, creating like a box behind Højlund, but then spreading in good areas. But these are overload here now, 2v1, but they don't make anything of it.
Yeah, Ahmad completely mistimed his jump there. Jumped far too early. Now Ayew into Daka. Daka's got a hold off Harry Maguire inside the penalty area. There's a slight appeal from Luke Thomas, who was watching that, appealing for the penalty. Eventually Ahmad goes down just outside the D, and the free kick is won by Manchester United. But anything in that?
Yeah, Ayew breaks away and then plays the ball really good. That's what you want from your forward, from your 9. Get your back in, wait in the area, see if you can get hold, then release a couple of players. Harry Maguire very, very strong. Shoved him away, poked the ball away. Good defending.
So 0-0 it remains. Manchester United have taken that free kick short. It's ended up pretty much where it started from. With now Kobe Mainoo under a lot of pressure midway inside his own half. He's going to try and turn and head towards the halfway line. Catches a lot of the Leicester player on that far side, so it's the Foxes that win a free kick. 20 yards inside the Manchester United half, right-hand side of the field. United players jogging back because Leicester are going to send the big boys forward.
Yeah, good opportunity. Just looking now, El Khanous, whether he's just going to go and deliver or a 2v1 to set it up. Manchester United, edge of the 18, all in the same line, but he got one in the wall, really. A wide free kick. What do they do now? You can just see the Leicester players hanging around the rear area, just trying to break through that line. Delivery's got to just be clipped right over towards that penalty area.
8 Manchester United players in a line on the edge of their 18-yard box. Leicester have plenty forward as well. Luke Thomas jogs up to the ball, backs away. It will be El Khanous to bend it in with pace, right-footed, but doesn't really get past the front man of Manchester United defending that in Rasmus Højlund. Ball up to the halfway line. Leicester in possession. 13 minutes played, 0-0, but Mark Albrighton, former Leicester player who's with us on 5 Live tonight, has to be said, Foxes have probably made the happiest start.
Yeah, I think they've made a positive start, I do. They've played the ball around nicely, sloppy passes from both sides. I think from a Leicester point of view, there's an out ball out wide. I look in these half spaces, either side of the pitch, with Luke Thomas and James Justin the other side. The wing backs of Man United don't really want to press too high. They do sit back, so it just gives you space.
Leicester City making a mess of it at the back. There was comfortable control there, but Wout Faes has just played it to Hermansson, who then let the ball guide almost past him towards the byline and run out for a corner. Recovered it as it got to the white paint, and Leicester have cleared it away. But from being so in control, Michael Brown, to almost giving themselves a real difficult moment to defend.
It was really good football. They're under pressure, and I don't mind it that they had the confidence to do it. It's just the goalkeeper tried to look for his next pass. He'd already thought, well, where's it going to go? Took his eye off it, under his foot. Then it created that tension. He's got to be better, more confident, make sure he does the basics first. But listen, you've got to give him some credit. If you make a mistake, you do it, but draw Manchester United on. That's the game plan. Can they get anything from it? United now doing the same. And Arna says, no risk, I'm going to go long.
Yeah, sends it long. No chances taken by the Cameroon goalkeeper of Manchester United. El Khanous has it just outside the centre circle. Into the middle of the pitch it goes for Wilfred Ndidi, the Leicester captain, back in the side tonight. Missed their 4-0 defeat to Everton at the weekend. Results were no better for Manchester United, losing 2-0 here at Crystal Palace as Okoli has to clear it away rather hurriedly. Does get it up into the air. El Khanous flicks it on with his head. Manchester United back in control of possession. These two met in the FA Cup quarter-final 2021. Leicester won 3-1 that year, en route to winning the competition. Mark Albrighton was part of that Leicester City side that day as well. And part of the side that would, months later, go on and win the tournament with that 1-0 win in the final against Chelsea. Coming to Leicester. Got a photo of it on your phone, haven't you, Mark?
Got plenty of photos of that on my phone, Mark. Talk you through them later.
Each ever so slightly different angle of the next one. Of the famous old trophy, the FA Cup, live on BBC Radio 5 Live this weekend and across the BBC. BBC One and the iPlayer tomorrow, where you can watch Leyton Orient against Manchester City. You can also listen to that live on BBC Radio 5 Live. At the same time, Leeds against Millwall on Sports Extra. That'll be a quiet affair, I'm sure. From 3 o'clock, Wigan against Fulham. With Birmingham City against Newcastle United on Sports Extra. Brighton Chelsea from 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So from the moment you wake up till pretty much when you go to bed on Saturday, wall-to-wall FA Cup action. You wouldn't have it any other way. Fast for Leicester, just in on the right-hand side. Tries to feed it in towards Wilfred Ndidi. Manchester United pick it off on the halfway line, play it back into their own half. Lenny Yoro in possession. Michael Brown.
Yeah, better from United. I think it's on turnover, this struggle. I think it's one thing they've had for a while in the football club, that people are now sort of expecting the areas to be free and then they come and dominate quickly, but this build-up's good. Manchester United finally getting a few more passes. Great switch of play. Look at that.
And it's a ball that's played out to the right-hand side. Luke Thomas missed his interception, and that's allowed Dorgu to get into the penalty area. Looks at the pull back, and Okoli's there to stick out a right leg and see it behind for a corner. But dangerous once Manchester United had the space on the right-hand side. Dorgu was off and running.
I mean, Dallow's just hit one like Beckham, hasn't he? Right across the face. Dorgu just keeps it in. You see Thomas get it wrong. But this is where we talk about left foot, right foot. It's sort of stuck underneath him, and he can't deliver because it's not as comfortable on that side for him. He always has to come back. He was ahead of it. A great counter from Manchester United.
Well, it's finally got the Old Trafford faithful with something to cheer about. 17 minutes played, 0-0. United looking for the breakthrough with Ahmad to swing it in near post. Headed away by Patson Daka, the centre-forward, playing the centre-back role there to head it clear. United on the loose ball charge. Mazraoui inside the centre circle. And then Ugarte. And back into his own half for Mazraoui, who instantly tries to send Manchester United forward into Leicester territory. But that was their first real break down this near side, the right. Ahmad now tries to turn infield, shows too much of the ball to Patson Daka, who stayed back and helps defend it once again, this time with the challenge of his feet rather than his head. Okoli back to Hermansen, and Leicester have just calmed things down once more.
Yeah, great play in the middle of the pitch, composed, calm. Ahmed needs to do a little bit better, tighter when the ball comes to him. Yes, he's got that attacking flair, that pace, that quality, gets you off your seat, but in the build-up, Manchester United have been wasteful. Leicester City just growing into another great turn, and Didi just in the middle. They're growing, they're getting better, so great cup tie, good start to the game. We need a couple of chances, a couple of shots at goal will certainly help it.
Edgy cup tie, certainly. As now Ayew has space near side the left for Leicester. Patson Daka ahead of him, as was Luke Thomas. Ayew slows it up and lays it into Samari in the midfield, still inside the Manchester United half by 10 yards or so. Still 0-0. Ayew's chance the best so far. The best break, certainly Manchester United's a moment ago with Patrick Dorgu. United win it back with the interception of Dorgu now in the right back position. Ahmad plays it safety first.
See that pass there, right? The Manchester United fans don't like it one bit. There's a bit of space in front, but he goes back into Maguire. Ugarte and says we'll start and circulate. They don't like it.
Challenge made by Decordova-Reid. Now El Khanous with the flicks and tricks on the far side touchline to try and keep it in play, which he does. Decordova-Reid, infielder Samari, who not for the first time in this game plays a sloppy pass, and it allows Manchester United with Højlund trying to break away. Two men over the back of him. Now Ahmad right hand side, waits for the support to come in. Dorgu. Ahmad then pulls it backwards a little bit, plays a 1-2 with Kobbie Mainoo. Now Dorgu's free on the right hand side. Patience pursued there by Manchester United. The late challenge comes in from Thomas, and Dorgu is fouled, giving United a free kick just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think what he tries to do, a little give and go, and then a run round the corner, 1-2s really quickly, and Thomas just goes tight. Just get another look. There isn't much contact. I think there is a touch, and Dorgu goes, OK, I'll fall over. He's given them an opportunity. That's what I would say in those positions. Don't go tight. Thomas doesn't think he's done anything wrong. What do you think?
Little pull on the waist, wasn't there? Not quite a rugby tackle, but gives me a chance to plug the Six Nations this weekend.
Lined you up nicely then.
On the BBC Sport website and app, and across 5 Live as well. We will make sure you're covered. 20 minutes here, and eyes turn towards the Leicester City penalty area. Manchester United with his free kick, almost level with the right corner of the box, but 5 yards perpendicular to it. It will be Ahmad to run over the ball. Fernandes right-footed to clip it low along to Ahmad, who's going to line this one up. The shot takes a deflection. He's carried over the bar. It was Ayew on the charge down of Ahmad. Little clever work free kick from Manchester United that's resulted in the set piece on the far side.
Yeah, really good, well worked one. But I think if Dorgu does his job, runs Ayew away, and gets the block on, he doesn't, he stays safe. Ahmad just tries to get his shot. Ayew, good deflection, sort of good defending.
So from having taken the free kick on the right, Bruno Fernandes now prepares to take the corner on the left, the far side for Manchester United. A little camera flash goes off behind him. Plenty of smartphones being shown, ready for this Manchester United opportunity. The 6-yard box looks heavily congested. Højlund and Yoro and Maguire, the former Leicester player Harry Maguire, just gathering on the edge of the box. One for the referee to keep an eye on as the corner comes in from Fernandes, headed away by Samaria. It'll come back to Fernandes on the far side again. This one is stroked across the box. Ahmad, the ball just escaped him. Couldn't get the shot away. Now he tries the back heel. Opportunity for the long-range shot of Patrick Dorgu over the bar. Inside of his right boot, always rising. Goal kick to Leicester City, still 0-0.
Yeah, there was all sorts of challenges in the middle. Bruno Fernandes has got good delivery, sees something at the edge that not many players will, expecting that whipped ball right to the back post. Ahmed on the edge, just away from him. It was a really clever, well-worked set piece, but then from there on, the ball drifts to the end of the area. Dorgu, he's got to do better. The effort when you get close, hit the target. I'm sure the back heel was mentioned, but there you go. A bit of flair from Ahmed yet again. There's been a couple so far.
Midway through this first half then, now Manchester United are slowly growing into the game with more chances, but another example, 10 yards either side of the halfway line, both sides making mistakes with just some really lazy passing.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, you can say both sides are not confident. We know that, understand the position they've been in, the results, that tells you everything about the teams, but you see cup ties are a little bit sort of scrappy. They take a bit of time. You need someone to show a bit of quality. Is it a mistake to get that breakthrough?
United 13th in the Premier League, Leicester City 18th. 12 points separates the side, but it's at home where Manchester United have really struggled. Play 19, won 10, lost 7 here at Old Trafford. They have really struggled, yet Ruben Amorim keeps banging the drum, keeps saying he's taking risks because in the end it's going to pay off. Well, Leicester City took a risk there with a foul midway inside their own half and have given Manchester United a free kick.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you listen to his comments, what he says, that he will be successful, he has a clear plan, and sometimes your plan has to change. I'm not sure he wants to do that, and fair enough, he'll stick to it, and we'll soon see whether he gets it right. But now an opportunity. He's the creator, isn't he? Bruno Fernandes with that lovely right foot. He can do different things. Is the delivery going to be on point here? Very high line from Leicester City. Yeah,
still a good 5 yards outside their own penalty area. Fernandes tries to bend it in towards Højlund, who needed a touch but couldn't. And the ball runs into the hands of Hermansen. It was, never more than a yard off the floor from Bruno Fernandes, but it outran the back of the defence, and Højlund needed a touch.
It's a great ball, you know. Do you know, not many players will take this on or be able to deliver or to get close. The bravery to do it, very unlucky. Yes, it's running away, just skids off the surface, but I think we as players, we like to see that sort of creativity.
Manchester United 0, Leicester City 0, 24 minutes played on this February evening at Old Trafford, round 4 of the FA Cup. Leicester City quarter-finalists last year before losing against Chelsea. They've reached round 5 in 7 of the last 10 years. Manchester United have reached round 5 in 9 of the last 10 years. Beaten here by Middlesbrough on penalties, the only time of that last decade where they didn't make round 5. Now Ayew stretching his legs, peels away towards the left-hand side, as Thomas on the outside of him as he goes 5 yards from the Manchester United penalty area. Thomas just away from the left corner of the box. His no-look pass doesn't find Ayew, certainly doesn't find Samare, and that gives Manchester United a throw-in from a promising attack from Leicester City.
Yeah, Luke Thomas there, just in a good position. He sort of let it sort of run when he's waiting to see what his next pass is. Did he need someone to face up? And then gives a cheap ball away. We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Maybe the tempo's quite high, the pressure, because it is a cup tie, but tense sort of play, I would say, that they're just giving balls away you wouldn't normally see at Premier League level.
Dogu down the right-hand side, gets the ball from Lenny Yoro, then as he tricks his way infield. Nothing given by the referee despite the appeals. There's a shake of the head from Mark Albright in there, who sat next to me. That's a lovely ball from Ayew to the right of the box, and Cordova-Reid, who fires it over. I think he was caught in two minds there. Powerful cross or a powerful shot, and in the end it bends high and wide at the near post from that far side of the penalty area, and it's a wasted chance for Leicester City.
It's a brilliant pass initially to Cordova-Reid, but I just think try and just whiz it across, see what happens. He sort of shoots towards the goalkeeper, always rising. I mean, it's easy sat here, but when he's in that position, you feel like you've got Daka getting into good areas, and you just never know where the ball goes. Just try and hit it through. Trying to think who the defender was, just trying to get another look, but just got to put it on the ground.
Okoli heads it out of play. It's going to be a Leicester City free kick because Højlund was offside anyway. He gives us a chance to bring in the former Leicester City player in. Mark Albright, and again, Cordova-Reid there should have done better.
Yeah, I think, like Brownie said, fizz it across the face of goal. He's obviously only got Daka in the box, but anything can happen. It could get a touch from a Man United defender, but I think from Leicester's point of view, both of their chances have come from balls into Daka, and I think he's going to be so important for them tonight, because whether it's build-up play or whether it's runs in behind, he's going to be crucial for them. I think for Man United, I think this right-hand side, I think with Dorgu, when he plays high and wide, he's causing problems for Luke Thomas, and I think that's where they're going to get their success. So first sort of almost half an hour gone, and I think both teams have sussed each other out and found areas of where to hurt each other.
27.5 minutes played, 0-0. Onana's got the ball. There were 3 Leicester players just waiting on the edge of the penalty area, trying to force Onana to make a decision as to where to go. It goes out towards the far side. Now Manchester United with the long ball forward, fast with the header ahead of Højlund. Ayew tries to stretch a leg to get in there first from the header that went back deeper into the Manchester United half, and then Mainoo goes down, but no foul given. And indeed he can canter forward for Leicester here on the far side right, plays it infield. It's a Manchester United player, and out for a Leicester throw on the far side. Yeah,
Diddy does well. I'm not sure there is a foul, but from there on, what they do, they go down that right-hand side. I think, just look, Leicester City need to be a little bit quicker. They're sort of going 1 touch, 2 touch. They don't have the next pass. Give go, use some pace, the weight of passes into key areas, sliding in between that sort of back 3 and that back 5. The wing back positions could be an area that they have to get in quicker.
Indeed, he wins it just inside the Leicester half, then plays it down the right aimlessly, nobody there.
Same position though. Do you know the areas there? Oh, it's big tackle.
Fair one as well, although he did go in with his studs up, and I think the referee has since called it back for a Manchester United free kick. No lasting injury, no theatricals, and indeed he, trying to win the ball back, having cheaply lost it, went in a little bit too forcefully there on Mazraoui on the touchline on the left-hand side of Manchester United.
It was like one of Mark's tackles, that, wasn't it? He's going down that right side.
Got there as quick as I could.
Look at that. It's the second leg. It's almost like a slip, isn't it? And it looks a lot worse when the back foot goes and comes around, but there's nothing in that.
Michael Sainsbury just having a word with Ndidi. And plays back underway. Manchester United up to the centre circle with Kobbie Mainoo, who plays the ball back into the left-back position for Mazraoui, but it wasn't direct, and Mazraoui had to track back a little bit, and that got the Manchester United fans frustrated. Now it's sent forward onto the chest of Patrick Dorgu back to goal, sends it to the halfway line, low along the floor, and then across the centre circle. Ugarte finds Mazraoui. 0-0 at Old Trafford. Friday night FA Cup 4th round football on BBC Radio 5 Live. Leicester City now intercept Manchester United's ball into the middle of the park, and Ayew can come down the left-hand side. Patson Daka, the man to aim for in the middle on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Ayew with a twist and a turn. Lays it back to Thomas down the line. First time ball in from him, headed behind by Mazraoui. Well, he glanced off his head, and it's given Leicester City a corner on the far side.
Build up, that tenacity down that left-hand side, but we like deliveries, we like crosses. This is a really good one. Thomas just waits, takes a touch. It's one of those bending away, goalkeeper in that area, just around that 6-yard box. Can't come, he stays on his heels and waits. Mazraoui, great header on the back post to see away the danger.
Played in both games already this season against Leicester City. Mazraoui knows what to expect. Manchester United with 8 goals in the 2 previous games here. 5-2 in the League Cup, 3-0 in the league. And Leicester City have an opportunity to score themselves on that far side. Luke Thomas the man to take the corner. It will be in swinging, left-footed delivery. Just has to back down the slight ramp of the pitch that edges off by the byline at Old Trafford, with the Stretford end behind the goal that Leicester City are aiming for. Thomas's delivery in, the heads go up. Coley was in there, the ball runs on through past everybody and out for a throw-in on this near side. Nobody got a touch, and that's going to be a throw into Manchester United.
That was a brilliant ball in. Delivery was quick. It was ripped right into the 6-yard area. See a few try to get a bit of contact, and Diddy just almost gets there, just runs away. And they're asking for a Leicester ball. They decide it's not. Manchester United now with a throw-in, but they've got to have first contact. Someone in a red shirt has to make sure, and that good delivery comes across, that they take it first.
Højlund in the right-back position, trying to force the ball away. Coley then heads it down as it's cleared down this near side. Ugarte has won it, now tries to stride away, plays a great ball into the centre circle for Bruno Fernandes, who shifts it out of his feet and releases Ahmed on the right-hand side. Plays a 1-2 with Dorgu. It comes back to Mainu on the edge of the penalty area via a Leicester City deflection and is cleared away. United try to break quick and dangerously, nearly got it all right, just the final component didn't quite match the rest of the parts, but Leicester City play it away, still 0-0, and still no real test for Mads Hermansen.
No, there wasn't. You see all the blue shirts desperately getting back. Good pass initially to Ahmed, then a little 1-2, tried to gain some sort of ground in the penalty area, but recovery runs were good, and then the playing out from Leicester, just trying to sustain the pressure. And then from there on, Ruud van Nistelrooy saying take your time, wait. And a couple of good passes now, they've got a chance to break through, but there's no one in behind them.
Delicately flicked out to the right-hand side, then looking for Daka, but intercepted once more on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Now a little bit of space here for Dorgu to use. Cuts back, checks back, uses Ahmad, uses Yoro, and now it's with Ugarte, walking pace just outside the centre circle. Manchester United 0, Leicester City 0. 12 minutes to half-time. That's a slice ball across field from Harry Maguire that sails out of play, and Luke Thomas will have a Leicester City throw.
It's underneath him, isn't it? He just thinks, well, I'll just clip this out, and he just comes across it, and then from there on just slices towards the manager. It's the last place you want to do when you give a bad ball away straight into your manager's hands. Done that a few times. I beat you to it because I knew you were going to do it.
I would never,
sure?
never ever criticise Michael Brown. As Ruben Amorim just trots back to his dugout. Ruud van Nistelrooy pulls a snood up over his mouth. A little bit of chill in the air across Manchester this evening. And Leicester City here have themselves a free kick, good 30 yards from goal, out on this near side. An angle though for Luke Thomas, who moments ago whipped in a really dangerous corner, to try and do the same here. Manchester United have everybody back, and only Ahmad, who's the one-man wall, is the only player in a red shirt outside the penalty area. Luke Thomas with a right arm raised, left-footed, whipped up with height towards the back post, over everybody, doesn't go out of play, bounces over towards the far side touchline, where Dorgu lets it roll over for a Manchester United throw-in. From one great delivery with the corner to a really poor one.
Well, we did give him all the plaudits, didn't we? Say wonderful pass, wonderful delivery to that back post. But on this one, you have so much time. It's always a strange situation when you're on this wide free kick. You go for so much pace and accuracy, you can get it wrong. You take a little bit off it, it's easier to defend. It's a fine line, and I do believe in these conditions maybe that in-swinger would have been a little bit better, where you could have just lent it towards the goal, see what happens. And you know Manchester United set pieces haven't been great. They're delighted when that goes all the way through.
10 minutes to half-time, 0-0, no breakthrough. And I can tell you, in half-times from 7:45 kickoffs in League One tonight, Mansfield against Northampton. I know the Leyton Orient boss Richie Wellens is watching that rather than his boyhood club Manchester United, because Leyton Orient play Mansfield on Tuesday after their big game with Manchester City tomorrow, which you can hear on Radio 5 live and watch on BBC One and the iPlayer from 12 o'clock. Half-time in the Scottish Cup, 5th round, Ayr United 0, Hibs 0 as well. That keeps you up to date. BBC Radio 5 live from Old Trafford this evening, where it's Manchester United 0, Leicester City 0. Harry Maguire comes away with the ball. I think United wanted a free kick within all of that. It never happened, and now Dorgu comes down the near side right. Diallo takes over. Little turn of pace to drag him past Jordan Ayew. Infield it goes. Dorgu now. Diallo again, who's shifted into a more central position. Turns around El Khanous, flicks it with the outside of his left boot to Fernandes. Over to the left now for Mazraoui. Tries to get the cross in, charged down by two Leicester players, including Decordova-Reid and James Justin. Mazraoui again. Yoro collects the ball square, right of centre. Dorgu draws level with the right corner of the penalty area. Will head for the byline, tries and gets the cross in. Double deflection that turns into a triple deflection off Thomas, and behind for a corner.
Yeah, switch of play. Dorgu trying to get the cross with that right foot. And Thomas stays all the way, goes tight, waits, delays, sort of puts the pressure on, and good defending, that late challenge. And make sure your first contact outside of his right foot just stops the cross. Now, set piece from Manchester United. Is there any pressure on the goalkeeper? What type of delivery? Looks like it's an in-swinger. Everybody on the edge of the 6-yard area for Leicester City, and just one sort of blocker edge and one front post, one around the goalkeeper.
Amad Diallo to deliver, left-footed, in-swing delivery, right underneath the goalkeeper. Hermanson, who's dropped it and falls on the ball second time to clutch it gratefully. That was a nervy moment for the Dane.
Yeah, the ball comes across. He just looks like he's not really that confident. He needs to come and be aggressive, come and take it. And he drops it under not a great amount of pressure. It might be a little nudge in his back possibly as he drops it, and dives straight on top of it, thankfully. But I think as a goalkeeper, even if it's a bit of contact, you've got to do a lot better. There's a left arm from Maguire, but you have to make sure you're really, really strong just in case.
I'll tell you what, as he dropped that ball on the goal line, or just before the goal line, it was his right boot, the goalkeeper's own right boot, that very nearly sent that into the back of his own net. Thankfully, he had a shield of 4 Leicester players around him, so he was able to clutch it pretty quickly. But nervy moment for the Dane, and a big let-off for Leicester City, who are holding Manchester United here 0-0 with 7 minutes to half-time, and are on the attack themselves with James Justin coming in from the right-hand side. It's a mazy run from him, flicks it out to Decordova-Reid, looking for Daka in the middle with a low cross, cleared away by Manchester United. Mazraoui has a look up to see where to take the ball, plays it across his own penalty area, and now Dorgu has a little bit more time and space. What a run from James Justin.
Honestly, right through the pitch, so there's the right back, if it's any idea, going diagonally right towards the centre of goal. He just keeps going under a lot of pressure, and as he falls to the ground, sweeps it out to the right-hand side, and Decordova-Reid delivers quickly. What a defending from Maguire. He gets into a good position, like a dive and header clearance. The aid for Manchester United, but now they come again, they try and move the ball around, but that was a brilliant run. That's what we want from full-back positions, trying to make, that's what I said in the cup tie, can someone do something to make the difference, to get that breakthrough?
James Justin, another one of those who scored in the 6-2 win over QPR. More minutes than any other Leicester City player in the Premier League this season as well. Playing tonight in the FA Cup 4th round, Manchester United 0, Leicester City 0. Here's Mazraoui, Ugarte, and plenty of time for Yoro, who launched the ball forward to nobody. And he can have a look across at his manager, Ruben Amorim, who will have had a few choice words there. Aimless, well past Ahmad, nowhere near Hoyland.
You just say nobody, I was thinking, who is that? literally as it's gone forward. I mean, it's an awful ball, isn't it? There's not even anybody there. The same wavelength from centre-back to your striker. Do you come short? There's an understanding. I mean, Højlund's got to get in this game because he's not even had a touch, really.
Hermansen inside his own 6-yard box. Højlund will try the press on him and on Wout Faes, but Leicester are easily able to guide the ball away from the big Danish forward, who again is going to put the pressure on Hermansen. I'm not sure he quite realised how close Højlund was to him there, but calmly finds a Coley. Now Thomas moves in from the left-back position into a more central place in the field. Ayew is hauled down, and free kick to Leicester City given. 5 minutes to half-time. Mark Albrighton, is it a case of settle for what you have now, or can you see one of these sides forcing something before the break?
So far, I think it looks like a mistake that will make the breakthrough. It's been very sloppy. I think Leicester have had good spells with the ball at times, but not much detail on the pass. When there's been an opportunity to play the ball in front of someone to put a bit of momentum to an attack, it's not happened. Man United have been sloppy in the middle third. Like I said before, their best opportunity is down this right-hand side.
Here's El Khanous, left corner of the penalty area. He'll dart towards the byline, play it across the middle. There's Ndidi! Saved by Onana, but finds a way through. And Leicester City, 4 minutes from half-time, take the lead at Old Trafford. More home woes for Manchester United. A huge mess in the middle. The pullback from Ndidi, how many deflections did that take? It might have even come off Deco over Reed before the goal line. But either way, however it happened, Leicester City lead, Manchester United 0, Leicester City 1.
Well, Manchester United are playing with it, they get pressed, and then El Khanous down that left-hand side, he pulls the ball across, and then Ndidi unmarked coming into the penalty area, hits it straight, it wasn't clean. Decordova-Reid right in front of Onana, whether he's in an unusual position or not, he manages to nudge it past Onana. It's just unbelievable waste from Manchester United under pressure. They're taking chances, and from there on they're very, very quick. He just goes down the left as he comes across, and it is straight. He is under pressure, but Onana, good save, and it just rebounds right back onto Decordova-Reid and just falls into there. Onana's unlucky there.
Yeah, from a Man United point of view, very poor, giving the ball away cheaply. I think from a Leicester point of view, that could be the first time that they've got more than 1-2 players into the box. On this occasion, El Khanous picks out a great pull back to Ndidi, who makes great connection, and Decordova-Reid is there just as he has done in his career to poach goals and be in the right position, and unfortunately gets a little bit of luck with a couple of deflections, but fantastic just before half-time for Leicester.
Big shot in the arm. So the cross came in from El Khanous. It was hit first time on the penalty spot from Wilfred Ndidi. Hits the right leg of Onana, who reacts well. But then a yard from the goal line is Bobby Decordova-Reid. He just has to make sure his header is facing the goal, which he did quickly. And it gives Manchester United something to think about. It gives Leicester a huge shot in the arm before half-time. And they've got a free kick here now, midway inside the Manchester United half, as Daka is pulled down. And on the left-hand side, they could make things worse.
Yeah, Harry Maguire going tight, but his arms across him, falls to the floor. But just going back to the goal, Decordova-Reid is right in front of Onana, but he's wondering if he's going to be in an offside position, but he's between the two defenders, and then it just ricochets off and away he goes. But it turnover so quick. You're under pressure. They've tried to be aggressive, they've tried to press high, and that's where you get the rewards. Vulnerable again from Manchester United defensively.
So Ayew and Thomas over this free kick. High line from Manchester United. Away from their own penalty area. Floated by Ayew towards the far side, looking for Decordova-Reid. The headers from Manchester United outside the box. Here's the other man involved in that goal a minute ago for Leicester in Wilfred Ndidi. He wins a throw-in. Level with the far corner of the penalty area. Into the final minute of the first half then. Manchester United 0, Leicester City 1. These two met on this day in 1981, and Leicester City also won that one by a goal to 0. If you believe in omens, that might be a good one if you're of Fox's persuasion. for Manchester United fans. A lot more grimace from their faces right now. Many heading for their half-time pints and pies. That's their half-time show here. Kendrick Lamar, the half-time show tomorrow in the Super Bowl 59 live on 5 Live from 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Sorry, rather Sunday night. Well, many people have booked Monday off work, haven't they, to stay up and watch that. 1 minute of added time. And Leicester City know they might be heading into the corner by the Stretford end with their side a goal up.
Well, nothing surprises you anymore in football. Manchester United haven't been good enough. They've had a couple of chances, but full credit to Leicester City. They've managed to find that breakthrough. Yes, it's about somebody losing the ball, but from there on, too much space on the edge of the area for my liking. Did he just to get his shot, nobody around him, but now look, they look hungry, trying to put more pressure on Manchester United. No rush now, just wait, get yourself in for half-time. That's really the message, wasn't it, from Ruud van Nistelrooy? But what is that dressing room going to be like at half-time? What's the team talk? How does he deliver it? What does he do next as a Manchester United boss? These players are looking at him and saying, give us something, set us something different, because this is just getting from bad to worse.
As the half-time whistle goes then, and Leicester City and Manchester United players head down the tunnel in the corner down to our left-hand side, with a big smile on the Leicester City faces. Work to do for Manchester United. The difference between the two sides at the break. Bobby De Cordova-Reid's header from a yard out after a Wilfred Ndidi shot. De Cordova-Reid only turned 32 5 days ago. A late birthday present for him, and it's put Leicester 45 minutes away from a place in the 5th round.
Well, it'd be a big performance psychologically for Ruud van Nistelrooy and his team to come here. We talked about it in the build-up. What sort of psychological mood would you be? Would it be a nice sort of different type of game from the Premier League where you're under pressure, just a free hit to come and enjoy it, put Manchester United under pressure? The pressure was on Manchester United. It's been a scrappy first half, let's be honest, even for Leicester City's quality on the ball. Manchester United have also tried too many wasted passes, but we've finally seen that breakthrough now, and Leicester City walking in that dressing room will absolutely be delighted.
Yeah, there will be. They'll absolutely be delighted. I think where the goal comes from, pressing from the front, putting pressure on the defenders of Manchester United. They need to do that more in the second half. They don't need to take their foot off the gas. They need to smell that blood. Man United don't want the ball. They don't want the ball at their feet. They want to get it forward. And Leicester need to see that. They can see they're going through a tough time. Leicester need to see that and put loads of pressure on and try and nick the ball at any opportunity.
Well, a Leicester lead at half-time, Kelly, may be something new for them. But for Manchester United, same old story. They're behind at the break. United 0, Leicester 1.
Yeah, boos on the half-time whistle at Old Trafford as Manchester United do trail by that late De Cordova-Reid goal. 1-0 Leicester City leads. Brownie, you said on the whistle there that this has gone from bad to worse from Manchester United. Where do they go from here? What will he be saying at half-time, Ruben Amorim?
You can only imagine, can't you? We've been in those dressing rooms before. When you sit down, you're thinking, what is it? You need a couple of them players also as well to get after a few others. You want to see a little bit of that, but in the modern day, some of the coaches don't like that. And I would imagine this type of manager would say, I'm taking charge, nobody else, sit, stay quiet, let me try to say tactically what we need to do. But it's not just about tactics, is it? At times in cup ties, it's about desire, determination, winning that fight, winning your duel with your opposition. But you just look at as well is the setup, the formation will be mentioned in regards to obviously Dorgu playing on that right-hand side, which is where the goals come from, rather than on the left, and Dalot the opposite. But listen, you can look at that all along. A few players gone missing for Manchester United in that first half. That is a big concern for him. So he's got to get a reaction. He's got to look at why it's happening, why he can't get that extra bit out of this team.
Big second half ahead at Old Trafford. We'll have all of the action for you very shortly. But coming up, Ben Haynes and Ellen White will also be bringing you reaction to today's Women's Champions League draw. And we'll also be looking ahead to Super Bowl 59. But before then, let's get the news on 5 Live with Richard Foster.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Six Nations.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks and good evening. Hamas has named 3 more Israeli men it's due to release from captivity tomorrow. Eli Sharabi, Ohad Ben Ami and Or Levy will all be freed as part of the latest hostage prisoner exchange. Steve Brisley is Eli Sharabi's brother-in-law. He told 5 Live how he heard the news.
It's a very strange thing to just open up a message that really simply said very little more than the 3 that are going to be released are, and then to see Ellie's name there in black and white was, surreal, uplifting, but terrifying at the same time, because you're still not wanting to quite let your guard down and unleash the emotions that have been building up for 15 months.
The government's demanding that Apple provide its security agencies with access to encrypted data stored by users across the world. Privacy campaigners say it's a troubling move. Neither Apple nor Downing Street have commented. The Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, has confirmed that the Grenfell Tower in West London will be dismantled. It's more than 7 years now since 72 people were killed when fire swept through the building. Emma O'Connor lived on the 20th floor and managed to escape that night. She told 5 Live she's angry about the timing of the decision.
We're still waiting for the police to do the criminal investigation. Without the tower standing, it's going to be out of sight and out of mind. I was at that meeting with Angela Rayner. You could tell that a lot of people in the room were incredibly hurt and disappointed by this decision.
An NHS trust is to be prosecuted over the deaths of 3 babies in its maternity unit in 2021. Nottingham University Hospital's NHS trust has indicated it plans to plead guilty when the case goes to court next week. The trust is at the centre of the largest inquiry into maternity care in the history of the health service. And a top aide to Prince Andrew wants a court to withhold his account of the prince's relationship with an alleged Chinese spy because he didn't realise it would become public. Dominic Hampshire played a key role developing Yang Tengbo's relationship with the Duke of York.
I feel like I'm going to the Super Bowl.
On Sunday, Super Bowl 59 rolls into New Orleans.
And the kickoff is out of the end zone, right down the middle.
NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts, are taking on AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are looking to win their 3rd Super Bowl in a row.
The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
Join NFL expert Greg Brady, former Pittsburgh Steeler Christian Scotland Williamson, and me, Stefan Powell. Super Bowl 59. Hear it all right here on 5 Live, Sunday night from 11:30.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports.
FA Cup kickoff.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
It's Manchester United 0, Leicester City 1 in the first FA Cup 4th round match of this weekend. We'll have second half commentary of that one to come. But elsewhere, there are blockbuster matches in store after the draw was done today for the Women's Champions League quarter-finals. Manchester City are going to face Chelsea, with Arsenal being drawn against Real Madrid. Women's Football Weekly host Ben Haynes can give us all the big headlines.
Well, it was incredibly dramatic with the way that the balls have come out of the pots. I'm joined by Ellen White, Lioness's all-time record goal scorer. Ellen, where do you want to start? What an incredible draw that was.
I know, it was crazy, wasn't it? Well, we have to start, don't we, with Man City, Chelsea. Like, that's just wild. Obviously, we knew kind of going into this that English teams could just face each other. Arsenal facing Real Madrid in the first round, we knew that then it could be a kind of potential.
Incredibly exciting. So we've got Real Madrid against Arsenal, Man City against Chelsea, Wolfsburg against Barcelona, and then Bayern Munich against Lyon. Now, the way that the seeding works, it means that Arsenal and Chelsea will both play the second leg at home, which really at this point, Ellen, is a massive advantage, isn't it? When you know that potentially you've got the defining game being played at either Stamford Bridge possibly or the Emirates.
It could definitely have a huge impact. And I think what we've seen over the last kind of few years with Arsenal in particular, the crowds that they draw in, the community, that atmosphere could make a huge difference. And what we saw recently in the WSL with Chelsea having a number of fans, 34,000 at Stamford Bridge, that could be a huge asset to them. It could be them going through or not, really, I think.
Let's jump in on that Man City-Chelsea game, because it's not just about the Champions League, but it draws in an extra narrative because Man City and Chelsea also face each other in the League Cup final on the 15th of March. They then have the game in the first leg on the 18th or 19th of March, followed by a game in the WSL, which will have huge ramifications for the title race on the 23rd of March, before returning for the second leg, which will be played at Chelsea on the 26th or 27th of March. So we go through a period there of around, say, 12 days, less than 2 weeks, where the sides will play each other 4 times, Ellen.
4 times and back to back. They're not playing any other teams in that time, which is just...
Have you ever had that before?
I was going to say, that's got to be unprecedented, that you play a team 4 times in a row, 1 in a League Cup final, 2 quarterfinals of a Champions League, and essentially maybe Chelsea's title, maybe a title deciding, or whether Man City actually were going to be in the Champions League for next season. So phenomenal. Wow. And then I was looking as well, obviously a number of England players in those teams, they meet up that weekend for England. So
less than a week later.
It's just crazy. But yeah, that's got to be unheard of. And I don't know, how do you prepare for that? I'm not really sure, to just continually face the same team 4 times in a row.
Yeah, well, let's get into some of the other narratives then. So we've got Real Madrid taking on Arsenal, which is massive for Renée Slay, because I mean, Arsenal have been excellent in the group stages. She's unbeaten in the Champions League so far. You'd imagine the second leg, if it fits, would be at the Emirates, which would be huge. Wolfsburg against last year's winners Barcelona. Barcelona will be desperate to go through and repeat the feat that they managed last year. And then we've got Bayern Munich against Lyon. But if we follow that through to the semi-finals, depending on who goes through, there are a number of amazing narratives that people should be looking out for. I mean, in theory, if Chelsea were to get through against Man City, that would be a repeat of last year's semi-final if Barcelona were to get past Wolfsburg. Equally, on the other side of that, if Arsenal were to make it through and Lyon were to make it through against Bayern Munich, Arsenal could face their old manager, Joe Montemuro. If Chelsea were to make it to the final, the way that the knockout phase works, they potentially could face Sonia Bompastor's old team in the final in Lyon. There are just so many narratives. I think, Els, it's fair to say that this draw has served up plenty, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has. I wasn't really sure what to kind of make of it beforehand, but now that I've seen it and watched it kind of live, it is super exciting. And like you say, there's just so many different narratives. And obviously, Chelsea, Kira Walsh potentially facing Barcelona.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
You know, Chloe Kelly could play a part in Arsenal kind of going through, but then a narrative could be if she was to reach the final and she could, you know, Man City go through to the final, then, you know, she might not be able to take part in that potentially. Yeah. Obviously, Wolfsburg against Barcelona, I think that would be really exciting. Wolfsburg, obviously previous winners as well of the Champions League. Bayern Munich, they want to go as far as they can in the competition. Lyon have won it so many times, so it's just so exciting.
Yeah, it really is so exciting. That was Ben Haynes and Ellen White. You can hear from them regularly on the Women's Football Weekly podcast, which is available on BBC Sounds. OK, well, Super Bowl 59 between Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs is just days away. I'm really pleased to say BBC Sports NFL pundit and former GB captain Phoebe Schechter joins us now all the way from New Orleans. Phoebe, thank you for being with us. I was reading your column and you said that the Kansas City Chiefs will probably do the three-peat, but you do give the Eagles a chance.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the Eagles have Saquon Barkley, and he has been a literal game changer for them. These two teams met 2 years ago at Super Bowl 57, now going to Super Bowl 59, and coming off the back of the NFC Championship only a couple weeks ago. The Eagles are at peak performance right now. I also would just love for the Eagles to be able to punch this one in. Just that's where my heart sits right now.
You said in your column as well that it was a more favourable matchup than 2 years ago for the Eagles. Why do you think that?
I think it's Saquon Barkley to start it off because they're able to stay in positive yardage. So you talk a lot about the down and distance. Instead of being in 3rd and 15, now they're in 3rd and 3, which is a much more favourable position. But they've got the number 1 overall defense in the NFL. And this is really key because this defense is a lot younger than they were previously. And they've got a lot of great young pieces who understand with this defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, their roles, responsibilities, and communication's a huge part of that.
Is there more pressure on the Eagles or the Chiefs?
You know what? If I really look at it, there's more pressure on Jalen Hurts in particular. The Chiefs, I mean, the fact that they're getting here is phenomenal, right? They could almost be making it to a three-peat, making history. My goodness, Patrick Mahomes has been here to be his 5th time. I mean, that is unheard of, but it's the Eagles. You see how they've elevated their defense. You see how they've elevated the running game with Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts is the one they're going to look to if things are not going well for them on Sunday.
Okay, well, just to finish, away from the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen was named MVP for the 2024 season, and he's someone that you know really well.
He is the most lovely human. I was with him when he was a rookie in Buffalo, and for him to win the MVP award last night was honestly so heartwarming because he's such a hard worker. This is the best version of him we've ever seen. I mean, him and Lamar Jackson were leading the league head-to-head all season long in statistics. So I was just full of joy when I got to see him go on stage last night at the NFL Honors.
Yeah, I bet. We like it when good people get good honours, don't we? Phoebe, enjoy Sunday. How much are you looking forward to it? Is this going to be one of the best Super Bowls yet? Come on, whet our appetite.
Oh, I think so. And in this Caesar Superdome like this, the noise levels are going to be phenomenal. Both these fan bases travel. So it's going to be nice and loud for you all.
Brilliant. That is exactly what we like to hear. Enjoy every second of it. I am very envious indeed. Stefan Powell is joined by Christian Scotland Williamson and Greg Brady on 5 Live on Sunday night. Coverage starts from 11 p.m. live play-by-play commentary plus reaction to the halftime show headlines by none other than Kendrick Lamar. Thank you so much for joining us, Phoebe. Do enjoy it. But now our focus goes back to proceedings at Old Trafford. Manchester United a goal down against Leicester City. Mark Albrighton and Michael Brown are part of our commentary team there. Mark, Leicester, I can see them in the tunnel at the moment, looking pumped. That was pretty much the perfect first half for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think sloppy at times. I think both teams are... I think both teams have been like that in the first half, but I think from the point of view of the goal, I think going into the second half now, that should give them a lot of confidence to like I said before the break, just go and have a solid press at the back three, the back five of Manchester United, and really put them under pressure, really test them, smell that fear that they've got with the ball, and try and win the ball back in high positions, and that's where the goal comes from. So they should be able to do more of that.
Does it look like, Michael, we might see changes from Ruben Amorim at half-time?
Yeah, we're just looking now. Garnacho's just entering the pitch, so he has to make a change. He has to have some sort of reaction, but really, if we look at it, they haven't really been anywhere near it, have they? So, yeah, the changes have got to come. It's about, again, what they can do with desire, determination. We talk about systems, setups, but in a cup tie, I mean, I really like Garnacho. I think it's set up well for him if they can get the ball and get him into the wider position. So should be a really good... I think this is set it up now, Kelly, really for a really good second half.
Yeah, we hope so. And that looks like a very big change. Garnacho has come on. Mike Maine, you can fill us in on just who's come off as we get back to you for the second half. Manchester United 0, Leicester 1.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Patrick Dorgu, the debutant, off for Alejandro Garnacho. Then 45 minutes on his Manchester United debut. And Ruben Amorim thinks that's enough to start him off with. Whether good or bad, maybe we'll find out post-match. But it is Alejandro Garnacho, whose last league goal, incidentally, came against Leicester City all the way back in November when Ruud van Nistelrooy was the interim Manchester United manager. Both bosses back out on the edge of their technical areas. We go for the second half then, with Leicester City leading Manchester United at Old Trafford by a goal to nil. United now from right to left in their red shirts, white shorts and black socks. Leicester City all in blue from left to right. We'll run you through the two teams when we get a chance to do so. It's like Lenny Yoro's also now playing on the left of a back three, having spent the first half on the right. That's a lovely drop of the shoulder from Rasmus Højlund to try and turn round Wout Faes, and he's into the penalty area. Højlund across goal. Too easy, not enough power. Leicester are able to clear it out towards this near side. Michael Brown.
Yeah, great effort down the left-hand side, but Højlund finally gets in his stride, trying to get some space, but good defending. The recovery runs from Leicester City were fantastic, all getting in the line, and then it was cleared quite comfortably. But that's exactly what the Manchester United wanted. A reaction, a run, something to get the crowd up. There's a big crowd here, and they've not really had anything to shout about.
Well, that was certainly the mood music in the press room at half-time. Just a lot of puffed-out cheeks from those of Manchester United persuasion. 2 minutes into the second half, Leicester City leading 1-0.
Your cheeks did seem to be puffed, I would say that.
Jammy Dodger Blondie, yeah. It was lovely. And a steak pie. Not the well-known combination you'd have on a plate together, but made the most of what I had. Certainly made the most of the 15 minutes I had, and well fed and watered, ready to go for this second half. Then in the FA Cup, fourth round, big weekend of FA Cup action. 11 live commentaries on the 5 Live network for you. Starting with this one tomorrow, Leyton Orient against Manchester City is the lunchtime game with Leeds Millwall on Sports Extra, and with you right through to Tuesday night when Exeter City host Nottingham Forest. Manchester United in possession, midway inside their own half with Bruno Fernandes out towards the right-hand side. Down goes Ahmad, and referee, after some time, gives Manchester United the free kick. But play most certainly had carried on for there whilst he weighed up his options.
He played on. He gave the advantage, and then he realised he wasn't going to get up. Manchester United wanted to delay it. So, to be fair, the referee tried. He said, OK, carry on. But just looking at the setup now, Manchester United, different. Dalot coming across the left-hand side. He's drifting inside. Garnacho on the wider one, but it's Ahmed who's gone really high up on that right position. Yes, he's jumping back down when Leicester City have possession, but just look at the difference now. The spread on the pitch, the numbers in red are much higher and wider.
Down the right-hand side, looking for Højlund. Keeley is able to clear it away. Now it's with Yoro in the Manchester United back line. A little bit of pressure comes from El Khanous, who set up that Leicester City goal in the first half. His pull back after some brilliant work down the left-hand side. Indeed, his shot saved by the legs of Onana, and Cordova-Reid's header into the back of the net, and that's what's given Leicester their 1-0 advantage. Yoro, sloppy, just about bailed out of that one by Manuel Ugarte. Back to Yoro it comes, and Harry Maguire inside his D on the edge of his own penalty area. Away to our right-hand side, but as United turn the ball infield, it's sloppy. Anything you can do, we can do better, say Leicester City, and also give the ball away. Now it's drifted out towards this near side touchline. Dalot tries to keep it in with his chest. He can't. Throw into Leicester City.
So Dalot got a load of space. Ahmed comes across the pitch. He gave it away first time. He got it back, and then all he has to do is put the ball in behind, and he sort of digs it into the ground. It was poor from him. So I really enjoy watching him. I think he's a special player. He's got to be better. He has done so far in this game. He's the match winner. He can do different things. Him and Garnacho. Here he is now, another chance as he go 1v1. I was just saying, sorry, in the press room there is, you know, what you don't want him is running at you in a wider position, 1v1s, and that's when he's inside. He's not in any room.
Leicester in possession with Manchester United trying to swarm around Ayew, who comes out with the ball. Now it's El Khanous who has Cordova-Reid to his right-hand side. El Khanous might go alone here, drags his shot wide of the right-hand post. So space opened up, space was afforded to him. 25 yards out, shot wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, there was some space. We just kept sort of travelling. He was looking to Cordova-Reid down the right. Manchester United just dropped and waited. Yoro just said, go on then, have a shot. It was always going wide. It's one of those, you might as well with the space ahead of you, but again, look at this from Manchester United. The play is not sort of precise. It's a little bit indifferent as the pressure comes. Look at Leicester on the front foot.
Yep, tying themselves in knots in the left-back position here, and Garnacho just gets a little clip on his heels. Goes down, gives Manchester United a free kick. Leicester pressure deep inside the Reds half. Gives us a chance to run through the two teams then. Onana's in goal for Manchester United. Yoro, Maguire and Mazraoui forming their back three of the 3-4-3 formation. Dalot, Ugarte, Mainoo and Garnacho now the midfield four. Ahmad and Fernandes supporting Højlund up front for Leicester City, who are now putting the pressure on Onana, who smacks his clearance against Patson Daka inside the penalty area. Ball goes out on the far side for a Manchester United throw-in. But the high Leicester press again, causing issues for that Manchester United defence. Leicester, Hermansen in goal, Justin Fars, Okoli and Thomas the back four, and Dini and Samari in midfield with Ayew, El Khanous, Cordova-Reid, the goal scorer behind Daka up front. Michael Brown.
Yeah, Patson Daka there, you can just see the build-up. Manchester United is slow as they move it across that back line, and as it goes into Onana, takes his touch, very, very quickly pressed, sort of diverts wide, but they're fragile. You can see they're lacking in confidence. Made the change, and Amorim's there as well on that halfway line, back on his knees, just thinking, having a look. Ruud van Nistelrooy saying, Okay, I'm happy in this position. He's used to winning here.
He most certainly is. He's won both games for Manchester United against Leicester this season. As the throw-in comes in, United header it away. Yoro smacks it on the volley up towards the halfway line. Yeah, he was in the home dugout, Ruud van Nistelrooy, for the 2 previous games. Manchester United beating Leicester City in the Premier League and 5-2 in the League Cup. Now Thomas has stepped out of position and Ahmad can take it down the right-hand side. He's got Kobbie Mainoo with him. Mainoo, the FA Cup final winner of last season, with an important goal. Feeds the ball down the right, gets the challenge, and that's given Manchester United a free kick, which they want to take in quickly. Down the inside right channel to Mainoo on the byline, clips it up. Okoli with the header away. Out of the box it goes, helped on further by El Khanous. Manchester United will come again with Mazraoui, who just steps away, then drives it from 35 yards wide of the left frame of the goal. And Leicester City have a goal kick after all of that.
Yeah, Coley going tight, pulling the shirt of Kobbie Mainoo, but Bruno Fernandes is alert, he's bright, he's a clever footballer. He just plays the free kick quickly into Kobbie Mainoo. He's drifting into the penalty area, tries to put the ball across, good defending, but from there on, long range effort, always going to go wide from Mazraoui. Sort of, from a Leicester point of view, you sort of go, thank you very much, it gives us time, gives us a little look at the situation. Now, Ruud van Nistelrooy just getting a little bit of advice, a little bit of help, just seeing how this change is adapted and what's going to be different, what can he do to stop Manchester United getting any momentum.
El Khanous just chest bumps his way off Ugarte in the middle. Now out to the right for Deco-Dovereed. He's looking for Daka at the back post, and Mazraoui's there to flick the ball away out towards this near side. Dalot heads it out of play. Manchester United 0, Leicester City 1, nearly 9 minutes into this second half, and a little bit of action at both ends, but again it's the work of El Khanous pulling the strings for Leicester City.
Yeah, El Khanous looks good, doesn't he, on the ball, nice to the eye, moving it left and right, and just get over Reed for that cross. But they're coming now, they're getting more of it, growing in confidence around this penalty area. Manchester United can't make any sort of challenge, and look how much time he makes for himself.
El Khanous plays the 1-2 with Deco-Dovereed. Hoyland tries to intercept, sliding challenge is well timed by James Justin, because if he got that wrong, Alejandro Garnacho would have steamed down the left-hand side of the field, no doubt. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Manchester United 0, Leicester City 1 on BBC Radio 5 Live. And you can take us with you on BBC Sounds this evening as well. Leicester win it back midway inside their own half. El Khanous looking forward. Daka's made the run ahead of him, and that's where El Khanous tries to calmly and casually feed the ball. Sliding challenge comes across from Harry Maguire, only to the feet of Deco-Dovereed, who just calms it down a little bit, plays it to the halfway line. Across the centre circle goes Ndidi. Here's Okoli. Let's bring in Mark Albrighton, the former Leicester midfielder, on 5 Live this evening as well. Where's this game in the balance for your former side right now?
Yeah, I think they need to keep doing what they're doing. I feel like they've started the second half very bright. It's been better from both sides.
Garnacho now wants to use his pace against Justin, in on the left of the penalty area. Garnacho pulls it back, takes a nick off a Leicester defender, comes to Bruno Fernandes, shifting all the time to the left-hand side. His shot is off the heels, I think, of Deco-Dovereed, and Manchester United have a throw-in which they take quickly through Garnacho to Dalot. Garnacho right-footed, plays it back down the line on this near side. Manchester United all in red, right to left in this second half, trailing as they are by 1-0. Have Harry Maguire on the ball in the centre circle. Mainoo, quick touch, flicks it out to the right-hand side. Now it's a little gallop from Ahmad to the edge of the penalty area before Luke Thomas gets control and smashes it away up to the halfway line. We had to interrupt you there, Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, as I was saying, just keep doing what they're doing. Keep playing the way that they've started this second half, because it's been bright. They've had opportunities. They've had good spells of possession. El Khanous pulling strings in the middle of the park. Looks like they're going to make a couple of changes now, which will freshen things up a little bit in terms of energy. I think from a Man United point of view, I think Brownie touched on it in the first half. Some backwards passes that just get the crowd offside a little bit, and it just causes fans to complain about that. And I think you need to take that away from the game and just try and be more positive. Try and look for Garnacho and Diallo on the wings.
Well, Leicester are going to make a double change here. And with their captain, Wilfred Ndidi, who's only just back towards full fitness, is coming off. Harry Winks in his place. And then their real only major January signing, Woyo Koulibaly, is going to replace Luke Thomas, the left back, for Ruud van Nistelrooy in his first changes of the evening. A double change, Michael Brown.
Yeah, double change. Ndidi, you might say, well, you need to protect him coming up towards the 60-minute mark. That's probably one of those that you look at, don't you, when you're coming back into a side. Harry Winks, though, good replacement. You know he can take the ball. He's comfortable. He can circulate it. He's got that defensive mindset, understanding. So, interesting change. Left back as well, like for like. I watched Barry Murphy, the first team coach. Let's have a little look.
He's Garnacho for Manchester United, who are chasing this goal deficit that they have. Fernandes, Mazraoui, little shift to the right hand side just to guide himself past Ayew. Now level with the corner of the box, Ahmad, who's inching the ball closer to the byline, plays a 1-2 off Main, who shows too much of it to a recovering Patson Daka. And again, Leicester are able to deal with it.
Yeah, they are. Good defensive line. They don't want to slip into that for too long, though. Manchester United will work opportunities with quick players in wide areas. We've already seen Garnacho get a run. When you give him one or two, you know something will happen.
Turned by Ugarte. Now Ahmad, who's had special FA Cup memories on this ground for Manchester United, but the 1-2 he played, it never happened with the two-part. Leicester intercepted, they give it away. Now a long ball to this near side, switch of play looking for Alejandro Garnacho, couldn't get the control he wanted. James Justin is able to keep the ball in play on the near side touchline. And Leicester City up to the halfway line now with El Khanous. A little flick in field for Harry Winks, the former Spurs man. Here's a Coley for Leicester City with number 5 on his back, that tall figure in the heart of the defence, alongside Wout Faes, who's on the ball now with his brown frizzy hair. De Cordova-Reid, the goal scorer, on the halfway line, back to Harry Winks. De Cordova-Reid just turns it round the corner, and Winks can have a look forward here. He'll have the support of El Khanous on the right hand side, just slides the ball into his path. First time cross in, looking for Daka, makes it to the back post, looking for Ayew, but Ahmad is there doing some defending now for Manchester United, and you can hear the Old Trafford crowd trying to force their team forward somewhat. Mainu out on the right-hand touchline, far side. Ahmad eventually joins him, having made that interception a moment ago. Plays in Mainu again down the right-hand side. Samare makes the challenge, easy one for him, picks the ball off, runs out to the touchline. Here's Ayew. Ayew flicks it back for the substitute Koulibaly, and now Winks on the ball for Leicester City midway inside his own half.
Yeah, they're playing well now. That was obviously the note. As I said to you, Barry Murphy, the first team coach, he obviously worked with Pep Guardiola at the EDS at Manchester City for such a long time. Step forward straight away, give advice to say make the change. It was Winks and Koulibaly, and now they've obviously gone for more possession based, putting Winks in there. He wants to say, well, we'll keep it, we'll move, we'll make Manchester United work. And it seems to have worked. The change has been positive.
Down the middle come Leicester, leading by a goal to nil. Harry Maguire makes the interception. Then El Khanous slides in, ball runs into the centre circle, and Leicester City are in control again on the hour mark. Here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Samare on the edge of the centre circle, inside his own half. Moved out towards this near side by El Khanous. Justin plays it off Alejandro Garnacho. Wins Leicester City a throw-in.
Ruud van Nistelrooy has just gone absolutely crazy. James Justin tries to meg Garnacho, where they've got a good play, haven't they? Little round the corner, say 1-2s, and he's only tried, the fullback, on this stage now to go and nutmeg Garnacho. I mean, the manager went mad.
Yeah, I think as well, they've got, as well as they're playing in this last 5-10 minutes and keeping possession, they've got to remember where they are. They've got to remember that they're Old Trafford. Things can change very quickly. Yeah, keep the ball, but do it with a purpose.
And Leicester trying to come forward with purpose. Daka, Ayew has the support over on the far side of Koulibaly, who has now made the run that Ayew chose to ignore. And Leicester City retreat back to the midway point of the pitch. United 0, Leicester City 1. Bit of a breeze whips around Old Trafford, chilly night, clear night though. Rain has stayed away in Manchester, you may be surprised to hear, maybe. As Leicester win it back in the centre circle. Here's Ayew.
Yeah, I mean, look at how they've changed. All of a sudden they've said, right, we are now going to move it around, we're going to keep it as much as we possibly can, make Manchester United work. It was obviously a game plan, like a trigger. We haven't seen this, have we? Because we'd seen Manchester United make a change, put Ahmed out on the right, Garnacho left, and now they've just completely took the ball away from them. And I've seen it happen here. Brian Barry Murphy saying, come on, make the change. So, you know, as Mark said, though, you've got to make sure you still go somewhere with it. Manchester United are going to keep coming.
United are going to make another change in a minute. Joshua Zirkzee is going to come on. The winning penalty hero against Arsenal in round 3 at the Emirates Stadium. He has little under half an hour to be a FA Cup hero again for the Reds and start to perhaps change the views of his manager. He's been left out in recent weeks. That's a long floating drifting ball arcing out towards the far side. Ahmad brings it down, the touch then comes off. Koulibaly gives Manchester United a throw in midway inside the Leicester half. So here comes the change, and it's Kobbie Mainoo who comes off in the focus of attention, having played the false 9 for Manchester United a couple of weeks ago, a couple of games ago. Criticised by his manager, saying the defensive midfield role didn't really work for him as well. So what have you made of his performance tonight, Michael Brown?
But let's be honest, when he come on and started playing for Manchester United, you never felt like he was a number 6. It always felt like he was an 8, and he's put in those positions at times, whether he was in 2 with Casemiro, and that understanding, but he wants to drive forward, he wants to get into different positions. I think he's done all right. I think he's got into some good areas. He's good on the ball. Could he have done more today? Yes. Could he have affected the game? I think he always learnt as a youngster, when something's not happening in your team or in the particular game, make sure somebody knows you're on that pitch, affect it in some ways. That's probably the next step at times when it's difficult situations at Manchester United.
That's a good turn of pace from Ugarte, and he's laid in Garnacho left-hand side, racing through on the goal. Garnacho lifts it over the goalkeeper, it smashes off the crossbar, and it stayed out. How on earth has that stayed out? The referee checked his watch, and somehow Manchester United haven't found an equaliser. Perfectly laid through by Ugarte. Garnacho right-footed, it's over the goalkeeper, and Akoli slides in. And it's his connection that puts the boot on the ball, and he celebrates as if he's scored at the other end. United 0, Leicester 1.
I think celebrates is an understatement. What about him fist pumping and go to the sky? I mean, it's a brilliant, well, it's fast. The defending is incredible. The first block that stops it going in the far corner. Then Akoli right on the touchline. He dives forward, hits it into the sky, off the bar. Then the celebration with him and Koulibaly. I mean, the 2 centre-halves there, you didn't see that touch initially, did you? It looked like Garnacho had put it in that far corner. Full credit, top defending, never give it up. The pace of Garnacho, very unlucky, but when anyone gets a chance to see this, about never giving something up, go right till the end, agonising wait, and then the defending is almost off his shin onto the bar and away. Goalkeeper collects.
Manchester United fans slap their hands across their face in disbelief. Leicester City fans slap their hands across their mouths in disbelief. Their side had somehow kept that out. United 0, Leicester City 1, and maybe in a game that has been relatively flat, is that the spark we need to turn this into an FA Cup classic, Mark Albrighton?
Yeah, that was an incredible scene of events there. I think it summed it up. I looked at James Justin's face, and he thought the ball had gone in. He's put his head back, looked to the sky, and it just, like you say, the defending is different class. Both centre halves just didn't give up the opportunity and managed to get it clear. But hopefully, like you say, that'll kick the game into life a little bit.
Coley's there again to intercept and send it out for a Manchester United throw-in rather than any further dangerous attack from Ahmad. Yeah, it's the bending shot from Garnacho, just trying to curl it around the goalkeeper, takes a deflection off Wout Fast, that lifts it over Hermansen, and then you've got a Coley sliding in, and as Michael Brown said, almost off his shin, bounced off the crossbar. When he realised it had stayed the right side of the white goal line, white paint of the goal line, he let out a huge scream. Here come Manchester United right-hand side with Diallo. Ahmad just turns away from the edge of the box. Now Mazraoui, early crossing from him towards the head of Zirkzee. It'll come to Yoro, knocks it down with his head into the floor for Alejandro Garnacho. Takes on Decordova-Reid. Garnacho! And then Zirkzee! 1-1. Well, the initial block may have kept it out, but Zirkzee had a tap in, and Old Trafford has belief again in the FA Cup 5th round. The fans on their feet. Zirkzee races back to the halfway line. Ruben Amorim with a swig of water. Manchester United have made thirsty work of this, but they're level. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 1.
Well, that's what Garnacho brings you. I said 1 or 2 chances you give him, it will come if you keep giving him that space. And they almost showed him the line. Decordova-Reid said, go on then, and he did. He drove to the line, put the ball across. Initially, Højlund tries that back flip, and then it's blocked, and then it's a simple one right on the edge of the 6 yards. Zirkzee just goes, thank you very much, rolls into the empty net because the goalkeeper's dived to the right hand side, which gives him no chance to recover. But it's all about the wide play. You show him too much, that little delay, that shove, and then that cross. Brilliant play and a simple one.
Yeah, I think both goals very similar. I think Leicester's in the first is down his left hand side as well, the cut back. Wilfred Diddy gets the shot off. Again, Garnacho this time gets to the byline, whips the ball back to the penalty spot, and it's the same sort of finish. And just when they got that little bit of luck just moments before with Garnacho's chance, Leicester just on the other end of that now with the deflection off Wout Faes just falling to Zirkzee, who finishes well. But we said they were coming on top. Leicester had a spell where they were keeping the ball. Man United come back into it a little bit, and now the game's open, the game's anyone's.
Manchester United with a bit between their teeth. Højlund, who had that initial flick on from the Garnacho cross that was blocked, now trying to release Garnacho again on the left-hand side. So Garnacho in the Højlund, that was blocked. Zirkzee tapping 1-1 with 21 minutes left of this FA Cup 4th round tie for a spot in round 5, where Manchester United have been in 9 of the last 10 years. Leicester City in 7 of the last 10. They have formed these two, but someone's going to fall short tonight. Extra time and penalties if we need it. Garnacho in between box and touchline on the left-hand side. Retreats down the line, uses Yoro. 1 apiece. Here's Harry Maguire.
This game on now. Manchester United confident, all of a sudden moving the ball. The fans, the atmosphere is up. Leicester City just not to panic, wait. Big switch. Maguire, there's the out ball every time. Down the sides, that's what they can't deal with, or 2v1s for Manchester United.
Garnacho coming in from the left corner. Wild curling effort, well wide, well away from goal. 10 yards wide maybe, and that's a let-off there. It's so dangerous coming in. Alejandro Garnacho on one of those movements in from the left corner of the box, but the curl didn't curl enough.
I think that's an understatement, isn't it? I think it's still travelling now, that ball. You see when a wide player comes inside, you do see that far corner, and I never felt like it was in the right position under his body. Sometimes you use the defender and take it around him. There's the fans singing Garnacho, but for one, he's done well. That one wasn't so much, but now, how do they react? What happens next? Can Leicester City find a way? Their endeavours there.
And the manager looks unmoved. Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's now having another word with Brian Barry Murphy, his assistant coach, and seeing what perhaps they can plan now for Leicester City to get themselves back in front in this game. They have here an opportunity on the near side with a throw-in, level with the corner of the penalty area. Leicester all in blue, left to right in this second half as we look at it with 19 minutes to go. Took the lead through Bobby Decordova-Reid and pulled level by Joshua Zirkzee. Here is El Khanous, the two number 11s coming together on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Zirkzee with a challenge, El Khanous on the recovery, has taken all of Harry Maguire, none of the ball. Free kick Manchester United, possibly lucky to escape a yellow card.
It was nice though, wasn't it, from Harry Maguire? He just said, no worries, you've caught me. Just a little high five, gets himself up. I mean, he could have stayed down, he could have said, you know what, you've caught me, bad day. Just jump, say, let's go, let's play. That's what I like sometimes about players. You can't always to get every tackle right. You don't always mean with any intent, and he does get caught on the top of the sort of the shin to the lower part of the knee. Now Ruud van Nistelrooy looks to do something different again.
And that's to take off his goal scorer. Bobby de Cordova-Reid is replaced, and Casey McAteer is the man to come on, academy graduate. His third appearance against Manchester United, his second one from the bench this season. Started the League Cup game, came from the subs in the Premier League, and has done so tonight in the FA Cup fourth round. One apiece between Manchester United and Leicester City, and again that sloppy bit of play in the middle third, which Manchester United get away with because Ugarte was caught late, and that's given him a free kick which escapes really. And his poor pass in the middle of the field between him and Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, he was caught behind by Patson Daka, but had already passed the ball to Harry Winks, so he gets away with that one. As Fernandes plays it back to Harry Maguire. 17 minutes to go on BBC Radio 5 Live tomorrow. Commentaries for you of Leeds, Millwall, Leyton Orient, Manchester City, Wigan, Fulham, Birmingham City against Newcastle United, Brighton against Chelsea. FA Cup fourth round action, wall to wall this weekend. BBC One tomorrow, 12:15, Leyton Orient against Manchester City. 5:45, Birmingham City against Newcastle. Both of those also available on the iPlayer for you. As Ayew tries to get it back under Leicester control on the far side touchline. That's their left-hand side. United header it forward with Diallo now, just keeping that ball close to his feet, and then he'll turn in field with an injection of pace. Koulibaly goes with it. Diallo to the byline, pulls it back towards Garnacho. Edge of the 6-yard box. There are enough blue shirts of Leicester City in the way, and they themselves now can try and drag the ball away from their own penalty area.
Yeah, good play again. As soon as obviously the turnover comes, Leicester City try to get out quickly, and Amram's up. He said get those recovery runs. Manchester United are 4 players out of it, so for the good play, the tenacity to get into good positions, the recovery runs need to be better, and I think this is where it could be telling. When anyone makes that extra run, the space is going to be there, I'm sure of it, in this game, but it's in the balance. It's got a good ending.
Is Hermansen, the Leicester City goalkeeper, just rolls the ball under his boot, then left-footed, sends it long up towards Ayew. Ugarte on the second ball. Clever little flick inside from him for Ahmad. Back to Yoro it goes, and it's just one of those moments where you think Manchester United might be able to advance forward, get a little bit of pace, and they just slow it down. Hibs have taken the lead away at Ayr in the Scottish Cup 5th round this evening. Here in the FA Cup of England, it's Garnacho from the left-hand side, low ball into the box. Nobody where they needed to be in a red shirt. They'd either all advanced too far or they weren't up to speed enough.
The disappointment, they've won it.
Got it back, edge of the penalty area. Hoyland rolls it across the D, uses Garnacho, shifts it down towards the byline, left foot, across comes James Justin. Sliding challenge, corner kick Manchester United.
Yeah, good play, good intensity as the ball comes across, nobody there, but then Leicester tried to play out, the press was good. As soon as they want to get it, they're going to get it out to Garnacho, pulls it on that left foot. James Justin, good defending, diverts it wide again, but it's maybe now it's turned up to Manchester United's advantage.
Fernandes with the corner, near side, the left, right in front of the Stretford end. Right behind him is the tunnel here at Old Trafford. It's a gracefully clipped-in ball, which is easily picked off, and now Manchester United are in trouble. Storming down the field come Leicester City. El Khanouch trying to race away. He'll have support. Brilliant sliding recovery challenge from Nazir Mazraoui. And United and Old Trafford and their fans on their feet to applaud a brilliant bit of recovery work. The corner was far too simply picked off for Leicester. They stormed down the field, and as they tried to lay in El Khanouch, Mazraoui slides across, gets a right boot on the ball and pokes it away from the Belgian. Now at the other end, Manchester United come forward with Diallo into the penalty area. Behind him, Garnacho lays it outside the box for Bruno Fernandes. United looking to go 2-1 up in this game, having been 1-0 down. It's then curled out of play, wide on the right-hand side. And that's disappointing for Manchester United, who themselves have just had to survive a scare at the other end.
Yeah, end to end. It was a scare. The counter-attack was good, but as Mazraoui's challenge came across, I'm wondering, is he going to catch a player? Did he go to ground? Should he stay up? But El Canouse, it was very unlucky. He lets him win it, but then as the ball pushes away, as he jumps over the top of it, he sort of falls on his leg that's gone past him. So it wasn't a foul, it was just the momentum. But the counter was really quick. I mean, it was a poor ball initially, but you've got to put it down to a great challenge. It's a goal-saving challenge right at the end, but how he falls down after it is very unfortunate, or it would have been advantage Leicester.
1-1 with 13 minutes to go. There are members of this press box who have got a 6:20 train in the morning to get to Leyton Orient, so we could do without extra time and certainly penalties.
Tell the truth, 6:13, Mike.
Could do those extra 7 minutes in bed. He's at Xerxes looking for Garnacho, edge of the Leicester City penalty area. Away it goes.
I'm here for the football. Extra time and penalties, how exciting would that be? I'd take that right now.
It's a game that has slowly increased in intensity and drama, really. And what more can we provide in the next 12 minutes or so of normal time? Down the right, the space for Mazraoui here. Leicester City are going to try and close him down as Mazraoui puts it in from the right-hand side, just outside the penalty area on the byline. There's a stricken Leicester player on the far side, and Manchester United aren't going to put the ball out of play. It's frustrating. The Leicester fans tucked in the corner away down to our left-hand side. Garnacho plays it off Justin. Ball comes out towards this near side touchline. Manchester United's left. Fernandes can't get to the ball first. Double deflection helps them out. Garnacho rolls it infield. Uses Dalot. Back through for Garnacho. Garnacho side netting. Saw the glory in the headlines himself and pulls his shirt up to his mouth, knowing that was a brilliant chance. And maybe he was a little too selfish there. In on the left-hand side, right-footed, tried to tuck it home at the near post and couldn't. One apiece.
It was a fantastic run. Garnacho makes it, he starts it off, drives inside into Dalot, but then he continues with his run, and Dalot is unlike him, it's sort of an outside of the foot pass into his pathway. Fantastic timing, good way to pass, and then he sees everything, but he's just got to put it across. I think Okoli does well, he sort of blocks that front post. Xerxes coming on the edge is going crazy, he goes to give the goalkeeper the eyes, but there's no space left at the near post, hits the side netting. He's made the difference, he's been good, but on that occasion he's got to do better. So if all he does good, then he has the next one. It's that consistency that probably doesn't put him in the team.
Mark Albrighton, former Leicester player, watching on, as well as myself and Michael Brown this evening. Last 10 minutes or so, Leicester have had a dangerous break, but they do need to tighten up at the back a little bit.
Yeah, they do, yeah. We spoke about it earlier when there was having a good bit of possession in the middle and they were moving the ball nicely, but they weren't really going anywhere with it. I think they had an opportunity there where they could have really went away with the game and put loads of pressure on Manchester United, but they didn't really do that. It was like they were settling for what they got and trying to see it out. But I think obviously Garnacho's chance and then the goal and Man United seem to have the bit between their teeth at the minute. Yeah, they conceded a little counter-attack, but they got back in numbers, got back really well, but on the whole, the last 10-15 minutes it's been all Man United and it's been attack versus defence.
So Alex Ferguson watching on with his flat cap alongside Sam Allardyce, who has certainly got clubs out of a few relegation scraps himself, and Ruud van Nistelrooy is now trying to do that with Leicester City, trying to get Leicester through this scrap with Manchester United first and foremost, and he's bringing on Buonanotte to help the Leicester front line, Michael Brown.
Yeah, he is a clever player. He's just slotted himself straight at the top of the pitch in that number 9 once he got his gloves sorted. Not sure Van Nistelrooy was that pleased about that, waiting to get him on, but you just see Patson Daka just walking all the way around. He felt the contact, the last challenge where he stayed down, and the Leicester City players were saying to Manchester United, put the ball out, let's have a look. They didn't. There was almost a big chance from it. That would have caused a few problems, I'm sure, but he's sat there now. They've made the change. Can they get him on the ball? You see a little nudge there from Dalot, contact from Yoro, but it could go anyway, this.
Certainly could, with Under 9 minutes to go. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 1. Patson Daka is walking off round the back of the goal to our left-hand side, right in front of the Stretford end. That's going to be uncomfortable for him. Not only his injury, but I imagine some of the taunts that are going his way as well. From now on, under-18 players won't have to walk around the pitch anymore. That's a new safeguarding I think the Premier League's brought in, so they will be able to exit on the halfway line. No such luxury is afforded to Patson Daka. It'll be interesting to see if he heads straight down the tunnel in a moment. We'll keep our eyes on that. Also now on Manchester United, who have the ball with a throw-in on the halfway line, near side there left. 8 minutes to go. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 1. Lenny Yoro with the ball almost dead at his feet, just strokes it across the back line to Harry Maguire. Once more over to Nazem Mazraoui. Now Diallo comes infield, and he's back to the Leicester City half, plays it to Harry Maguire, the former Leicester City player, and headed up on the long ball from Maguire by James Justin. Ball in the centre circle on the floor now with Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte to Mazraoui. Here's Diallo. Diallo cuts infield. Was he tripped? Then the late challenge on Harry Winks wins Leicester City a free kick. Daka, by the way, is walking the full length around the pitch. He will be okay and take his seat in the dugout. A little bit of afters between Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte there. But there was no question it was a free kick. It was late as Winks just trying to poke the ball away by a yard or so to give himself some time and space and get round the unrushing Ugarte, despite his innocent complaints. Free kick given to Leicester City.
Yeah, Ugarte goes sort of like a double-footed jump. That's what we can't see. There was no contact, but it looks a lot worse. Harry Winks have sort of gone, you can't challenge like that. He's asking to see if there's anything in. He just dangles his foot. It doesn't look great, but there's no challenge committed. It's one of those sort of thing. It was a strange way to go and sort of make any sort of challenge, really.
First player in the book this evening, Manuel Ugarte, as a result of that. 6.5 minutes to go. Manchester United, who've won their last 4 against Leicester City and beaten in their last 5. Leicester City have only won once here this century, and even that came in the COVID season without fans. Here's Maguire, left-footed, long clearance away, up towards the halfway line from deep inside the Manchester United half. Xerxes appeals that throw-in should be Manchester United's on the near side, and it is. 2 balls on the field, so a little stoppage in play. 5 minutes to go. We go in the distance, Michael Brown?
This has a long way to go yet. He's got to enjoy it. Cup ties, anything can happen. Late drama. Manchester United trying to go back to front a little bit quicker. If they get the chance, you see Harry Maguire. Anybody open up? Ugarte they're looking for it. See, every time they get the ball, Bruno Fernandes will play it. He's the late run.
Fernandes, right-footed, long, over to Dalot, left-hand side, Justin on the recovery run. Dalot pulls it across, and Samari is there to hack it out towards this near side. Yoro keeps it in play. He's got El Khanous with him. Yoro tries to go past El Khanous and Justin, runs into Justin. Corner kick to Manchester United. Full-time scores in round 5 of the Scottish Cup. Ayr United 0, Hibs 1. And in League 1, Mansfield 0, Northampton 1. Watched by Richie Wellens. With Leyton Orient taking on Mansfield on Tuesday, he chose to watch that over Manchester United tonight. Leyton Orient against Manchester City live on 5 Live tomorrow from 12:15. Fernandes' corner in under the goalkeeper near post, headed out of play, and it's going to be another Manchester United corner.
That's a great ball in, right in that near post. Great quality, lots of pace. Goalkeeper doesn't look certain on these situations to go short on this occasion.
Fernandes to Garnacho. Fernandes wants it back. Garnacho instead slides it onto the edge of the D for Diallo. Now Mazraoui with a little clip up back out to the corner taker, Bruno Fernandes. Leicester City try and reshape their back line as Fernandes stalls one cross, drags it infield right-footed. Lovely delivery in. Where's the loose ball going away? From Samari, maybe even Ayew. And Leicester City survive another Manchester United attack with 4 minutes to go. Level as we are at 1 apiece. Ahmad cantering towards the right corner of the penalty area, inching the ball closer into the box. Fernandes closed out by Ioan Buonanotte. The sliding challenge comes in. Manchester United have it on the far side touchline. Ugarte twists at a turn and then challenged by Koulibaly out for a throw-in.
Yeah, they're asking for their throw, aren't they? Buonanotte, just that slide challenge. Yeah, he has changed his mind. So it's right, you ask the question at times, the officials have a little look, and you can sometimes see a change. They don't always like to do it, these officials. I always ask the question, that's for certain.
Yeah, the linesman on that far side making the decision for the referee, was closest to the action in fairness to him. So Michael Brown got 5 minutes to predict whether we'd go the full way. An extra time, Mark Albright, you now have 3 minutes to tell us whether this is won in 90 minutes.
Well, if it isn't, I can only see one winner in 90 minutes, and that's Man United. They're putting the onus on. Yeah, don't put that pressure on me. I'm not so sure. I think Man United are really putting pressure on here, and they're going to get maybe one, maybe two more clear-cut opportunities before this 90 minutes end.
Crossfield pass, drifting to find Garnacho. Low shot, clutched at the chest of a diving Mads Hermansson. Right in the middle of his goal, never had the swerve or the power from Garnacho, again doing that familiar cut-in from the left-hand side.
Yeah, he just creates space, that's what pace does. Whether he go left, whether he go inside, they're taking chances, but the goalkeeper Hermansson was right at him. It might have went into the ground, it might have been a little bit of deflection that took the pace away from it, and if so, Van Nistelrooy was saying well done to defence, and it might have just hits the ground before the goalkeeper. That often tells a story.
Both managers looking a little agitated on the touchline, have their hands down by their sides, occasionally just wafting them up ever so slightly in the air, almost nervous in disposition as Garnacho has it left corner, looking for that winner for Manchester United, but he's pulled back into the 18-yard box, is poor and picked off. And now Leicester City come away down the middle with Samare. The challenge comes from Zirkzee. The reason Manchester United are level is because of the Dutchman, and he's just prevented a Leicester City break down the middle there with 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 1.
Yeah, Elkins does so well. Do you know, for a player who's been really good to the eye, trying to make things happen, he's trying his best to win it. Referee just says just a little bit too much contact. Zirkzee running back, determination from both players. They know now these last few moments are key. What's going to happen? The Manchester United fans are right behind him. It's tense, it's good. Will we get a late one?
Nobody's leaving Old Trafford early as Garnacho gets it just outside the left of the penalty area. 5 yards from the byline. It's a little clipped-in cross with his right boot, headed away by Wout Vaes. Yoro helps recover the ball back for Manchester United. Garnacho, Fernandes, intercepted and well read by James Justin, and then Yoro commits the foul on El Canouse, and that will just buy Leicester some precious seconds with 30 seconds of the 90 left.
I tell you what, James Justin's been up against it second half, because it's not just Garnacho, Dallow's gone as well, so it's like 2v1, and it was the one with the Doggett-over-Reed was the difference, where he'd showed him line, and that's where the goal come from. But you just see now there El Canouse coming across, doing his bit, drawing the foul. It's a team ethic that you've got to get through when you're under this sort of pressure. Everybody's got to fill in and understand the roles. We're going to see now how much added time are we going to get this late one, Mike? Oh, I'm not sure with that amount of time.
3 minutes shown at Old Trafford by the fourth official Thomas Bramall. And as McAteer tried to lift one over the top of the Manchester United defence, and had it not been intercepted, Ayew would have been through. But well read by the Manchester United backline. 1-1 here at Old Trafford in the FA Cup fourth round. Headed infield by McAteer. El Canouse tries to set himself free down the right-hand side. Dallow's out there ahead of him though, and knocks it back to Andre Onana, who's had really a quiet second half, the Manchester United goalkeeper. But that doesn't mean his concentration has to be any less. Maguire up towards the edge of the centre circle. Leicester City in retreat, floated by Maguire over the top. Okoli heads it out of play for a throw-in on the far side. Michael Brown.
Now, there's going to be one chance at the end of this game. I can see there'll be one chance. Whether we'll see anything from it, I think Manchester United here, Bruno Fernandes play it.
Over the head of Højlund, not near enough to Garnacho. Down the middle the ball was floated, and Mads Hermansson in his own time can just gather the ball, take a touch, pick it up, and waste more seconds for Leicester City, who, looking at how they're playing, looking at this moderate time wasting from Mads Hermansson, are waiting for extra time. Well, Ruud van Nistelrooy will hope to make more changes and maybe influence the play. Now look at McAteer eating up the yards on Dalot, who had his back to the Leicester City winger. and tried to quickly nudge it back to Onana, which he did. Out of play, poor pass by Harry Winks, and Manchester United want to take it quickly with Garnacho on the halfway line, near side the left. He does to Zirkzee. Now Fernandes, does that hit the hand of James Justin? Yes, it does. As Garnacho trying to flick it round and past him. And that's given Manchester United a free kick on this left-hand touchline, midway inside the Leicester City half. This might be your chance, Michael Brown.
It's so unlike Harry Winks. He normally wants to keep the ball. Can he do much there? It sort of jumps up, James Justin, and hits him on the arm, and the referee doesn't really want to give it. And I think he's been given a bit of advice from down the line or something. Garnacho flicks it. He's unlucky because it hits the base of the elbow. The arm's not out. Here we go.
Fernandes' free kick from the left-hand side. Arriving is there! And Manchester United have won it! In the very last minute of the game! Seeds in the Stretford end! Huge congratulations with a swarm of Manchester United players. Onana has run from one end of the field to the other. It's a big moment with a big header for Harry Maguire. The former Leicester City player breaks the Foxes' hearts in the final minute, and Manchester United book their place in round 5. Manchester United 2, Leicester City 1.
Well, as he opens his arms aloft, Harry Maguire, he's had so many critics in a red shirt, but he's always kept coming. He's kept coming back more times, and now it's that big delivery. It's a lofted one. It's got all the time in the world. Goalkeeper can't come. The defence doesn't drop, and you know he's good in the air. It's right at the back post. He runs onto. He can't believe his luck. Divert it into the ground, across the goalkeeper, into that far corner. Off he runs round the back of the goal. Sensational ending here at Old Trafford.
And I tell you what, we don't have VAR in the FA Cup tonight, and maybe Leicester City are thinking they should have. There is a suspicion of offside for Harry Maguire as he races at the back post. That floating ball from Fernandes on a plate, the header down past Hermansen. It wins the ties for the holders of the FA Cup. Maybe somewhat controversially, but nobody of red persuasion in Old Trafford cares.
Yeah, I can't describe to you how good that ball is from Bruno Fernandes. We said there'd be one more chance, and he's just created it with a world-class delivery. He drives the ball towards Hermansen, and he just fades out towards that back post where Harry Maguire's just waiting, and bullets a header back across goal into the bottom corner. It's a superb goal.
Manchester United are coming again. We've had the 3 minutes well beyond them. Diallo's into the penalty area right-hand side to really make it worse. Left-footed, curling shot, wide of the goal.
Yeah, it was good wide play. Ahmed just darting down the right. I was wondering if he's going to go to the corner. It doesn't allow him, he's under pressure, and then darts in on his left-hand side, and then it opens up. He has one thing in his mind, and all he's going to do is try and bend it far corner, but cup ties, magic, FA Cup moments. This game again never surprises. What an ending to the game.
Huge cheers from the Manchester United fans as the full-time whistle goes. It's a quick handshake between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ruben Amorim. The Manchester United manager walks straight down the touchline, barely looking at his players, barely celebrating, barely taking a moment to drink in such drama at the end of Old Trafford here at the end of this FA Cup 5th round, as Manchester United players survive at the very last. Diallo's on his haunches, can scarcely believe that so late they have won it here to go through to round 5. Leicester City players a little bit solemn. Achilles got his head wrapped in his shirt. Some of them have got their hands on their hips. Ayew down on one knee, looking on, being consoled by his manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Leicester City came so close to taking Manchester United to extra time, but in the final minute of the 3 added on at the end of the game, Harry Maguire, once of Leicester City, has knocked his former club out the cup and kept the holders in it, and only just. Manchester United 2, Leicester City 1, Michael Brown.
This is the FA Cup. All around the world people talk about this competition. You did ask me if there was going to be a late one. I said to you, there will be a chance. Can somebody take it? Well, it was Harry Maguire, the experience, the desire from him in his Manchester United career. I'm pleased for him personally because he's had his knocks here at Old Trafford, but we'll be talking about, won't we, the decision for James Justin when it hits his elbow. Is that a foul? Then that deep ball in, is it an offside? But Leicester City have to deal with it, they have to see it off. The changes were made. Garnacho, let's be honest, he made the difference down that left-hand side. He was the one who created and caused lots of problems. We've seen drama, didn't we? Zaccoli cleared it off the line onto the bar. That was a special moment, but they just kept coming, and this is what happens. You've got to make sure you see it out. They tried to be good in possession, and unfortunately Leicester City weren't, and they just give the ball back too many times.
Well, Kelly, if that's the start to the FA Cup round 4 that sets the tone for the weekend, we're off and running.
Yes, bring it on. Drama right until the end at Old Trafford. Manchester United just about getting over the line. But I wanted to read you some of the messages that are coming in for fans. Paul on the text says, that's gut-wrenching for Leicester. Miles offside, but no VAR. United have a decision go for them for once at least. Steve has said, why no VAR? 2 Prem teams, Leicester will be gutted when they see that. Do you agree, Mark?
Yeah, I think they will be gutted. I think they'll be gutted with the award of the free kick in the first place, and then obviously when they see it back, the offside decision, and not to allow the offside. And obviously with no VAR, that's what everyone's used to. As soon as the ball hits the net, everyone turns round and it is expecting to see something, and that weren't to be tonight. But even still, after the decisions, you have to deal with the free kick. Like I said in commentary, it's a world-class ball by Bruno Fernandes, puts it in an incredible area with great shape on it. But from a Leicester point of view, you have to defend that set piece.
Yeah, frustration for Leicester City. I also thought Ruben Amorim's reaction at full time was quite telling, Michael. He just had his head down, walked down the touchline, down the tunnel. He probably knows his side got away with one a bit tonight.
Well, he knows they weren't good enough. Was there an improvement in the second half? Yes, you would say that, but overall the first half was very, very poor. The standards here that he demands, and these Manchester United supporters, they know they're going to walk away. They're going to say, well, we did it, we were very lucky, we were very fortunate, we'll take it, we'll enjoy it, but it needs to improve massively at this football club to where they need to be. He knows that, and it's almost to sort of say, I'm off, I'm going to show you that I'm not accepting it, it's not good enough. We're through and we've stuck at it. There's some good things to work from, but I mean the ending, we knew something was coming, and he just kept asking me, Mike, and he's like, is something going to happen? And we got extra time, and across the line they've got this little GoPro with us, and you can see our reaction going, do we really need extra time? It's a little bit cold here, Chile, but I said bring it on. And then that ball went across. You knew it was sort of a strange sort of decision to make that free kick on the wide area when it hit James Justin's elbow, and then that lofted ball, it seemed to take forever. But I'm just getting a little still now to how many Manchester United players were actually along the line in an offside position, and in that area the assistant referee is looking right across it, unless I just can't see whether the ball at the same time has left his foot. But if that's right and it's that poor a decision, forget VAR, you know, that doesn't need to be in place. That's a really, really poor one if that's the case, and Leicester City go out because of it.
Our engineer here, Kelly, has pointed out 5 Manchester United players offside. That's going to hurt Leicester City.
They were almost queuing up to be offside, it looked like, didn't it? In real time watching it, you were thinking, how is that not offside? But yeah, referees, linesmen have difficult jobs, but yeah, that's definitely going to be a subject of the debate in this post-match. A word on Harry Maguire though, because I thought you summed it up really well, Michael, and I'm watching him be interviewed on TV now here in the UK. He's had his critics at Manchester United, but he does just keep coming back. He deserves that moment, if anyone does in that Manchester United side.
Do you know what? I've seen a lot of players over the years work with so many different ones, and I don't think many players could have took what he's taken here. And the level of he's kept his mouth shut, he's just got on with his job. He could have moved a couple of times, but do you know what he said? Now I'm going to fight for my place, I'm going to continue to wait and be professional. They've had to give him a new contract because of the clause. It's ironic that Manchester United have had to do the option, not Harry Maguire. He comes in this team, adversity's there, could he be better? He'd hold his hands up and say, but he's kept his head, he's kept his cool, and these moments while you play football are really special, and I'm really pleased for him that he gets that type of reward in a cup tie here tonight, and was watching the interviews like you are, Kelly, and you know, he'll go away and say, I'm still doing an all right job at times, that's for certain. But no, listen, it was a big moment in the game, and they can only play what's in front of them as a player. And as that ball drops down, you just knew it, didn't you? You were all waiting, anticipating, and then it just dropped into the corner. I mean, what an ending to a football match.
Do you know what he has also said in this interview that we're both watching? He said that Garnacho changed the game, and he's right, isn't he, Mark?
Yeah, he is. Garnacho was a constant threat down this left-hand side in the second half. We said it in commentary. James Justin had he certainly had his hands full with defending him. He did well at times, but Garnacho just kept coming back, and he was going down the outside. He was cutting in on his right foot and going on the inside. He had a chance just before the first goal for Man United, and like I say, it was just a constant threat. And when you've got him on the wing and Diallo the other side, it's a force to be reckoned with, and I can see them having a lot of success in the future with them.
Yes, well, what a game it was at Old Trafford. Manchester United coming from behind to beat Leicester City by 2-1. They are the first team of this bumper FA Cup weekend with their name in Monday's 5th round FA Cup draw. And it was dramatic until the end, just how we like it. My thanks to Mike, to Mark and to Michael. And by the way, Mark and Michael, I don't want to say you two are the messiahs of commentary, but in that second half, Mark, you did say there was only going to be one winner in 90 minutes, and it was going to be Manchester United. And Michael, you told us there was one more big moment to come. You were both right. So we'll have more of the same, please.
Yeah, we'll just keep it up. Just ask us and we'll tell you.
Michael, yeah, my comment was through gritted teeth as well, I must say.
Well, Michael, enjoy your trip down to London tomorrow. Enjoy that cup of tea with Richie Wellens, won't you?
We'll try, yeah. And hopefully he'll make it.
Have a brilliant weekend to you as well, Mike, and to Mark. And, of course, my thanks to Richie Wellens and Ed Francis for joining us earlier in the programme.